Welcome to the Women's Mortgage Network podcast, where we share stories, strategies, and inspiration to help women in our industry thrive. I'm Nichole Foster, an account executive with Lending TPO out of California.
And my name is Nichole. I'm a mortgage broker here in Sugarland, Texas. Welcome to the show.
Sugarland, I love it. Our topic today is one that we can all relate to: mistakes. In a market that changes daily, errors happen. But instead of letting them define us, we can embrace them, bounce back, and recover with great impact.
That's right. So today we're going to be sharing our personal stories, some of the mistakes we've made in the past. Hey, we've been in the business for so long, and every day we make mistakes. So we want to share some of our stories, how we overcame those stories, and some of the lessons that we learned through the process. So you don't have to be afraid when you make mistakes, because mistakes are meant for us to learn and, just make sure it doesn't repeat itself.
Right. It's how we bounce back from them. Let's be real. The market is challenging. There's roller coaster rates, stricter guidelines. There's so much competition out there for you guys and myself. And when you're moving fast, mistakes will happen. But instead of being afraid of them, we want to normalize talking about them and getting ahead of them.
Right. So we want to encourage you so that when you make mistakes, you don't feel bad about it. You know that that's part of the journey, that this is just a lesson for you. So just sit tight and listen to this conversation. And we hope it encourages you to keep doing what you know how to do best without worrying about making any mistakes.
Man, one of my biggest mistakes as an account executive came when I rushed to give a broker an answer. I didn't listen to the whole scenario. I was probably doing something else, not give it my main attention, right? So I gave him a quick yes on this scenario without listening to the entire scenario, which kept me from double checking my guidelines. Later, I realized the borrower didn't even actually qualify, and it created a stressful situation for everybody involved, from the borrower to the realtors to my personal staff. I find that it was humbling, but it taught me to always slow down and take that time to verify. Now I have no issue telling my brokers or processors, hey, I have no shame in saying, give me a little bit of time and let me go confirm, instead of just rushing right into it. Funny enough, that honesty built me more trust than a quick answer ever could. That mistake actually made me a stronger partner on how I resolved it.
Right. I mean, slowing down is where the magic actually lies. I know that a lot of times we as mortgage brokers, we want to close as many loans as possible. We want to give those answers back to the realtors, or the buyer is calling, wanting answers, and we just want to give a quick answer. So it's always better to slow down, make sure you're reading your guidelines, make sure you're checking and double checking before giving those answers. One of the recent mistakes that I made was I was actually out of the country. I was in Nigeria, and I had this realtor. This realtor, I've worked with him for many, many years. Reach out. And so I told him that, okay, well, I'm going to get back to you. And so, in reviewing the documents and all of that, I actually overlooked a particular deduction on the pay stub. Big mistake. And we went into underwriting. I was in Nigeria, and so my assistant here submitted the loan, and when the loan came back, DTI issue. We had, I think it was 55%. There was no way we could close that loan. And so when I got back, they were still. I mean, she was clearing conditions and all of that. And when I got back to the office, and I kept thinking what went wrong, because I felt everything was under control. And so I called the realtor, and I told the realtor exactly what happened. Like, look, it was my mistake. I messed up. And but see, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna flip the loan from conventional loan to an FHA loan. And so we were able to get it done. The client came back with came to closing with much lower closing costs and down payment, and everybody was happy. And you know what? The realtor called me and thanked me for being truthful. That most people would put a blame on maybe their office staff or stuff like that. But I owned up to the mistake because I really messed up. So I told him I messed up. And the buyer was happy. And now his wife is actually a friend of mine, and we're friends on Instagram now, comment on each other's posts and all of that. Everybody's happy.
Love
So
that.
whenever we make mistakes, just own up to those mistakes and learn from it and offer solution. Once you're able to offer the solution to the client, everybody's happy.
Right. Man, sometimes that hardest conversation is the one that you earn the most respect on, and I love that. So it really is what you do when you find that mistake. Same with us in wholesale. How do we all jump on that and correct that mistake? That is what matters at the end.
Right, right. And another thing that I feel like people are doing these days, you know, getting your mind to work the right way. The kind of people you surround yourself with actually matters, or the kind of news you listen to actually matters. Because for me, I am focusing on getting loans closed, not focusing about what lender is doing what, or who is not paying this, or who is doing this, whose rate is higher, whose rate is lower. All the noise in the market, just close your ears and focus on what you're doing. For real. Just focus on what you're
Absolutely.
doing. Focus on changing lives. And because that's one thing that I know I'm never, ever, ever going to focus on. Just the noise that is going on in the industry is never going to go away. So if you are a new loan originator and you are reading all these Facebook posts, you're reading all these blogs, bashing on one lender or the other, that is none of your business, because those things are not going to put money in your pocket. Just
And you don't
focus
know the
on
whole situation either, right? There's always two sides to that story.
three sides. It's always three sides to a story. Your
I
side,
like
their
that.
side, and the truth.
Right.
So don't focus on those things. Just make sure you're focusing on how to win. And that's all that matters.
Yes. The most common mistake that I see a loan officer make is rushing to that pre-qual without checking the income up front, running an AUS. You wouldn't believe how many LOs are running their AUSs up front. I mean, we'll get a conventional and it'll have a 62 DTI and it'll come as a refer. And why aren't we like, that's not okay. So that's where the problems blow up. I feel like the solution, just build checklists, slow down the process, utilize the account executives. We all should know the guidelines. We should all lead you guys in the right direction. It is our job. Your reputation means everything. I mean, you guys are in the front line. People don't know anything about us. So we need to do anything in our power as a wholesale company is to help the loan officer. So if that means we got to look at the income with you while you're pre-qualing it, that's what we do. That's what we have to do as a team. It
Mm.
takes a village today.
And then another thing that I think of is right now we have a lot of technology that can help us with AI. You can actually search up information. Just a few minutes ago, I had a realtor call me and said that his client wanted an assumable loan as a conventional loan, because I was submitting a loan, so she wanted it as an assumable loan. So I was like, no, it's not possible. This is not an FHA loan. This realtor swore to me that it is possible because another LO had told them that this is possible. So what I did was just go online and pull up the guidelines and took screenshot and send it back to them. And so now she wants me in front of that client to explain to them, that a conventional loan is not assumable, but she swore to God that that was possible. So right now you have a lot of tools at your fingertips. Just make sure you're using those tools to win every single day.
Absolutely. It's just so powerful hitting issues head on as a team, too. It strengthens the relationships. People
Right,
don't expect perfection, they expect honesty, right?
right.
I often conference in an underwriter if I don't know on live deals, right? I feel like if a loan officer is calling me on an approved deal, we need to conference in the whole team, right? Pull in the underwriter, pull in the junior, pull in whoever you need to have that discussion. Don't put stuff off. And for upfront stuff, say the loan's not approved, I'm very big about maybe bringing in a regional underwriting manager for those harder deals up front, because it's just best to knock it out. These loans are hard today with the different guidelines and them changing constantly, variable income. So anything we could do up front prior to pre-qualifying the client as a team, it's just amazing, right? Like you said, utilize the tools around us, including human beings.
Yes, yes. And
Mhm.
you know, the thing is, I see this as a team effort. Nobody wins if any loan doesn't close. We all want to close deals. We all have bills to pay. We
I
we
mean, we don't
want
get paid, right? Unless they close.
no,
We're all
no.
commission.
No, so we want that deal to close. So if that client is not qualified, don't waste your time and don't waste somebody else's time. So make sure you do all the due diligence up front and don't overpromise. If you know you're not going to be able to get it to them in 24 hours, don't say 24 hours. Just, I
Say 48, and if you come back in 24, amazing. You just, are
right,
ahead of it. That's how we
right.
work too.
I know when I started years ago, I would tell them, oh, yeah, I'll get this back to you like in 48 hours, or, oh, I can get you that pre-approval letter in 48 hours. But then the client didn't send me documents, or I'm trying to verify employment. The employer would not send the VOE back until 3, 4 days later. So now what I tell clients is, okay, I'm going to get this back to you provided I have everything that I need. So once I have
Yes.
everything I need, then just give me about 24 to 48 hours. I'll be able to get this back to you. So we make sure once I give you my pre-approval letter, we know you are closer to getting the keys to your home. And so
Hmm.
make sure you are not over promising. Just tell them
Yeah.
48 hours. If you can get it back in 24, fine. If you can get it back same
Amazing.
day, fine.
I know. I had one yesterday that somebody said, okay, do you promise, I'm submitting this right now, do you promise it's going to close in 9 days? And I worded my answer as, I will do my part, right? I'll
Yeah.
do my part of making sure that we close in 9 days on a bank
Yeah.
statement. So my
Yeah.
advice to women in this industry, man, don't fear the mistakes. Turn them into system improvements. Learn from them. Grow.
Yes.
Protect yourself for the future because it's your reputation, right? And oh man, don't ever be afraid to ask questions. It's not a stupid question. I get that a lot. A lot of LOs will call me, I know this is a stupid question. No, it's not. If you
Mhm.
need to know, it's not stupid. And I don't care if you got to ask 3 different ways for you to understand it. It's still not stupid. I'd rather you ask up front, right? That's why we're here. So,
Right.
like I said, it's your guys' livelihood. It's your reputation as a wholesaler. Where I work, we truly, truly work for the mortgage broker. So my advice again to all the women in this industry is utilize people around you. Don't be afraid to make a mistake and ask the questions. It's so important.
Right. And also remember that you're not building a business for just today, you're building a business for the future. So you have to lay a very solid foundation so that um, people trust you. People want to work with who they trust. So if you give a pre approval letter today, the loan doesn't close, that realtor remembers that your pre-approval is not a good one. And then you go to the next person and you go to the next person. So you want to make sure you do all the due diligence, ask the relevant questions, ask if you need to call the underwriting manager, like Nichole said, do that. Whatever you need to do, if you need to go online and make researches on that topic, go ahead and do that so that once you issue that pre-approval letter, you know that that client is going to close and you know you're going to smile to the bank with your paycheck because this is our paycheck. This is our this is our livelihood. So make sure you are not rushing through the process. Make sure you're doing all that you're supposed to do upfront so that everybody can have a happy ending.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, this has been a great conversation. I hope that everyone out there listening feels empowered to embrace their mistakes and also ask away instead of fearing them. Mistakes do not define us, our recovery does. let's keep learning, growing, and thriving together and really utilize the folks around you, you guys. Like I
Right.
said, it takes a village in 2025 to get these loans closed. And your wholesalers, your realtor partners, your processors, they are your village. We are your village. We want to see you win. We
Right.
understand that it's your reputation. You're in the front lines here. So ask away is my advice.
Right. And mistakes will happen. It's gonna happen every single day. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared about
Right.
mistakes. When you make those mistakes, own up to the mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and just make sure those mistakes doesn't repeat itself again. Okay? When you fix the problem today, trust me, another problem is gonna happen tomorrow. So just be
Absolutely.
ready. And when you make the mistakes and you feel overwhelmed, just take a deep breath. If you want to get up and walk out of your room or walk out of your office, just do that. Just do what makes you happy. Just do what makes you recover, and then get back with a smile on your face and boom, just get that file to closing.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. That was great. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, that was episode 8 of the Women's Mortgage Network. We appreciate you tuning in today and we wish you great success in your errors.
Thank you guys for joining.